Welcome to the Bardock Guide 2024. You guys requested for an updated guide on the new version of Bardock, and here it is. So I'm not going to be going over basic things like what the character does with each button and block strings and stuff like that, even combos, as Kuwanga has already posted an in-depth Bardock combo guide that I'll put here and put the link in the description for you guys to check out. I also have put out a comprehensive Bardock guide before this, some of you might know it, so check that out for sure, as it covers all of those basic things and brings you up to speed. This is a supplement guide, especially touching on the things that this new version of Bardock does and how I play the character myself. So I'll put that here and put the link in the description for you to check it out. Also guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps put the video into the algorithm. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. But that's enough of me talking, let's get into the guide. Let's start this guide off correctly by talking about the best assists for Bardock. So first we need to look at what Bardock wants. Bardock is a character that doesn't have good key blast game. He doesn't have necessarily the best keep away game, right? Bardock is somebody who needs to get in, so we need assists that allow us to get in, right? Gogeta B. This assist is one of the best assists for Bardock. Why? Because as soon as you do your EX Lariat from full screen, it will lock them down. Straight away, no questions asked. The timing can change a bit, but he is going to lock them down. That is what Bardock needs. Bardock needs assists that benefit the Lariat, right? This is our movement. You know what I mean? So we need assists that allow us to get in from wherever we are, right? This is our assist. I don't necessarily use this assist though. I use GT Goku B. Now you saw it didn't necessarily gel whilst I went from the EX full screen. However, for mix, for all these different kinds of things, it's very good. The reason why I prefer GT Goku B to Gogeta B is because of the corner. When the opponent is trying to do something, the way it just locks them down in place, it really reinforces Bardock's plus on block nature. This is very plus. This is plus 40, right? So when the opponent is trying to do something, because Bardock, once you reflect Bardock, Bardock's finished. You reflect this, you're finished, right? You reflect anything, Bardock's basically done. Because what are we going to do to get back in safely? We've used our assist. Let's say both our assists are gone. They reflected us. What are we going to do? We're not going to start putting key blasts on the screen and keeping them away until we can find a way in. We're going to use our Lariat. We're going to use our movement to try and get back in. But because so many characters, obviously every character in the cast can do all of this. But on top of that, they have key blasts, they have teleporting moves, they have all this kind of stuff. They can go through key blasts. Do you know what I mean? There are better versions of Bardock out there. So we need assists that will reinforce our game plan. And what else than assists that just knock you down? That will just allow you to do what you have to do. That will give you mix. You know what I mean? Like assists that will be able to give you mix, assists that will be able to lock down. That's what we need, right? So these are the types of assists that you want. Fast assists that are on the ground, grounded assists that allow Bardock to get in. Now on the other hand, neutral assists. Kefla is fantastic for Bardock. Why? This is fast. This is fast and it covers the horizontal portion of the screen, right? So if Bardock's in the air, if Bardock covers the air with his air lariat, that covers the ground. You know what I mean? This is very good. On top of obviously your regular beam assist, Kefla's assist is fantastic for Bardock because it does what I said before. It covers the ground while we cover the air. Right? It covers the ground while we cover the air. So when you think about Bardock and what he needs, these are the kinds of things he needs. He needs assists that allow him to control neutral, get in safely, that will allow him to safely cover the air while they cover the ground, and you want assists that will allow Bardock to lock your opponent down. Right? Anywhere that you are, it's just assists that supplement the character. That's what Bardock needs. He needs these types of assists. So if I was to give you any advice, I'd definitely say of these 4 assists, Goku A, any beam assist, Kefla A, GT Goku B, and Gogeta Super Saiyan 4B are the best assists I think that you could use for Bardock. Our Kara gut punch is very strong because it looks as if we're going to press a button, right? And I'd advise you to use it after you've done long staggers, right? So you've done long staggers, your opponent has no clue what you're doing, right? You're taking your time back, maybe even do a gut punch. And there, I just did it. It is the Kara gut punch. So Bardock looks like he's going to do a 2L, but he Kara cancels into the gut punch. The best way to set it up is off of 5L because we have medium blocks done on our 5L. So it gives us ample time to Kara cancel from 2L into our gut punch. I haven't actually been able to do it off of anything without starting off of 5L first. So I would advise you to actually do it this way. The best thing I would say is the first time I did it, go back and obviously watch the video like in slow motion and see exactly how Bardock changes from the normal 5L into the 2L and then the Kara gut punch. There, I did it then. So you can see Bardock, like, he tweaks a bit, and that's how you know you're doing it properly. It looks like he's going to quickly go for 2L, but then he goes into the Kara gut punch. In fact, what I'll do is the next video after this will be me doing the Kara gut punch, so you can see how it looks in slow motion. So when it comes to Bardock's light lariat, right, we now can obviously gel this on blocking. As you can see, we did the light lariat, Bardock reflected after it was gelled. If we do the EX and vanish, we get reflected away. Why is this strong? The reason why this is very strong is because Bardock can now establish his pressure from almost anywhere on the screen, and he can just literally vanish it into plus frames. Right, in that situation we're +2. The reason why this is strong is because Bardock is the king of the clash. This is a normal clash situation, right? What can the opponent do? The opponent can try and take their turn back, the opponent can backdash, the opponent can dash block, the opponent can do so many different things. Now, when Bardock does a clash, when Bardock's in a clash, right? As you can see, we obviously clashed, but when we do our EX lariat, right, we win the clash. The reason why this is very important is because when we're in this situation, this will beat them if they try to take their turn back. It also beats them if they try to backdash, right? So this beats them pressing a button, it beats them backdashing. So why is this strong? Because they'll be scared of us potentially pressing this EX lariat when we're in this situation. It is in our favor. They can't backdash, they can't press a button, right? In terms of them trying to beat us. You know, sometimes they may expect us to do stuff like this and then dash block after them, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to try and instill fear into them so we can get away with more shenanigans. Now, if we set them to reflect, this allows us to do many different things. We don't necessarily have to vanish after this situation. Once we've established the fear into them, we don't have to vanish. We can simply do things like this and try and take our turn back, because they'll be scared, they'll be doing all these sorts of things. Eventually, if you've conditioned them to the point where wherever they see this, they just expect you to vanish, right? There'll be times when you'll be able to literally get away with and taking your turn back. They'll be so scared, they'll be doing things that they don't normally do. There have been many instances, once I've conditioned an opponent to literally just take this as it is, I can start getting away with things like this, taking my turn back off a move that is literally -4, right? This is the mind game that you can play with this. Once you've established the fear in their hearts with this situation, right? If they try to reflect, they find out that you may just cross them up like this. Like, you have to try and read your opponent in this situation. Do you know what I mean? If they do stuff that reflect, a cross up 236M will smoke them. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like this is very important. It's all about conditioning. Once you've got into your opponent's mind and you're controlling how they play, these situations are very strong. So if they backdash and press a button, obviously we have our EX lariat that smokes both of them. If they start to reflect, you can backdash into another lariat and take your turn back, or you can do this and smoke them for it. It's all about conditioning, guys. Make sure you put this particular metagame in your favor. Our medium lariat. This is the move right now. Before it was this, you know, this is now the move, right? Our medium lariat, this is our move. Why is this our move? Because they've changed how it works, right? For some reason, I think they made it a bit faster. So now, when we do cross-ups, we can actually cross up with this move quite fast, right? They've made it so that we can actually combo off it. So we can combo off of this move. So not only can we use it as a cross up, we can combo off of it, right? So if we're just in neutral and we just manage to get a cross up, we can convert off of it. So you can automatically see how powerful this move is already. That's not all. If our opponent is jumping and we use it, we're plus. We are plus off of this in neutral. How many situations are we going to get them with a JM? Right? JM in neutral, we lock them down, and then we're plus. So we can take our turn back again off this in neutral. This is very strong for us, guys. We need to be able to utilize this very well. Another way that we can use this move, which I'm trying to implement into my game properly, is by using it as an anti-air. Right? Especially in the air, because we can actually convert off of it now. Because they've changed it so that we can convert off this move, it's even more effective as an anti-air. So being able to use all these things together puts Bardock in a very strong situation. This is the move for us. We got our corner loops with this move. We got our plus frames in neutral from this move when we lock them down. We can convert off this move as a fast cross up, right? We can combo from this move. This is the Bardock move right now. I am telling you, you need to be using our 236M. You have to be. That is the move that you need to be focusing on right now. Master how to use it as a cross up. What I like to do is, let's explain to you guys real quick what I like to do. So let me turn this on as well so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Right? Now we'll put it down. Yeah. So I like to use the dash macro when it comes to cross-ups. Alright? Being able to go from a dash into this makes you get the fastest possible cross-up I think you can do. Do you know what I mean? It's very fast. So when you're in neutral, just quickly do your staggers, and you lock them down, and then you just hit them with a quick cross-up 236M. Quickly. So one thing I would advise you to do, just turn on the dash macro and practice doing this with the macro in training mode, and then eventually practice doing it as fast as possible. You'll get used to it, and then when you're in matches, just consciously and deliberately try and hit this move on your opponent, and I'm telling you, you're going to hit them. It's very fast. It is very, very fast. Another thing you can do, once you've conditioned them, right? So when you're like this and they expect this, very soon you'll be able to do like a fake cross up. So I learned this from my boy Swizzle, right? Good Bardock player from Germany. So what he did to me was he conditioned me with this, and then eventually he just did like an ID back JS into our J236M. Our medium lariat, our air medium lariat. That's what he did. So it's very strong. We can actually convert off of this as well. Because of the properties of this, we can actually convert off of this. So not only can we convert off the cross-up version, we can actually do a fake cross-up version as well. So I hope you guys can see where I'm going with this. This is the move. Concentrate on this, and I'm telling you, you will improve the way you're playing with Bardock at a very fast rate. So if I have the opponent down with an IDJH, what I like to do is if I can confirm this, like I confirm them blocking this, right? Once I confirm them blocking this, I like to call my assist. So I like to do this the most with GT, As you can see, 20 frames startup, 40 frames, and plus 40 here. Right, my frame advantage is 40. So what I like to do, I confirm with this, and then go into high or low. That is what I like to do when they block this on Oki. What I would advise you to do instead, for the most part though, is this. Because you're back in, right? Do JL into JS, right? Because you're back in. And then ideally after that, go into anti-reflect. So our anti-reflect is like dash 2L 5LL, right? That's our anti-reflect. Or you can do like, I think 2L 5M, but I like to do this one instead. And then we're back in, do you know what I mean? If they try reflect us afterwards, but and then we're kind of back in that situation. What I would advise you to do though, sometimes what I like to do is I like to do like super jump 236M into my assist, especially if they up tech. I just realized he's gonna do, yeah. And you can see we kind of just lock them down into place when that happens. So whenever you get the knockdown, and they might delay tech, because of how our 236M has changed, obviously we're plus off of this right now when they're in the air. So one thing you can definitely do is try and implement that into your game plan by having a good assist, a good grounded assist. Like I mentioned before when I was talking about the best assist for Bardock, these assists are very good because Bardock covers the air with this, and then they just cover the ground. So it's like even if they try to dash out, you know what I mean, you've got both places covered, right? Even if they delay tech and they're on the ground for a while, I feel like one of the best things you can do is like you're just there, you've covered it to a degree, so your timing can't be too off. Just try and look at their bar. If they've got, if they're prone to doing like wake up level 3s or wake up reflect, then act accordingly. You always want to lead with an anti-reflect when it comes to following up your pressure, just in case they reflect, alright? But let's see what happens if they delay tech. Normally this Oki that I use right now doesn't really put me in a bad situation, because if they just delay tech, I just wait. You see what I mean? So it's not too bad. Like I feel like it's something that's very useful. If they up tech, you can also do JH. Into some sort of mix, or you could just confirm it into a 236M to get plus. So as you can see, as I mentioned before, our 236M is that move. This is our new move, guys, so you have to utilize it. Utilize it in your combos, utilize it in your mix, your Oki. You can see how it's very useful for us. Being able to establish that part of Bardock's game into how you're playing against your opponent is very strong, because we're plus off of it. We can get mix off of it, so you want to use it. So yeah, that's just some of the stuff I do on Oki. Obviously, it just depends based on player to player. But in terms of when they delay tech, just I'd say call an assist to cover, just in case, and then lead with an anti-reflect. If you think they're going to level 3, then maybe you want to dash block, play it safe. Or maybe just go back to neutral. Sometimes it's just better to be alive than to lose your character. So yeah, that's it for Oki, and on to the next topic. I've already made a video on the snap mix, but I'll touch on it again just in case people haven't seen it. So when it comes to Bardock doing the snap mix, you have to understand this, right? Let's go behind why you'd want to do it first, and then when you shouldn't do it. So you shouldn't do it when you see characters like Cell and Vegeta are there, right? Especially when they have meter, right? If they have an air DP like Vegeta does, you don't want to necessarily snap Vegeta in. You want to tend to go for the snap mix in the beginning of a match, as opposed to later on during the match, as that's when they're most likely to have meter for like EX reversals and maybe even air level 3s. Characters that have air level 3s and air DPs, you tend to not want to actually snap them in. But for the sake of what we're about to do, let's just assume that they don't necessarily have this, right? So what I like to do, I like to set up like this. Not like that. Right, obviously you can go high with the air dash JM or JL, or you could go low with the land 2L, right? And what I like to do is I like to snap in characters that I feel like are the problem for me, characters I don't like that I want to get rid of quickly. Now you saw the way I set it up initially. The key takeaway for this is that you want to get the air DR as close to the ground as possible. That's why I go for that setup, right? Once you've got your opponent in, then you want to maximize as much damage, go into Oki, and then move from there. You do not have to use an assist like I did to try and get mixed, because you're plus off the J236M anyway. I'll try and show you again. After that, we're plus, right? So you don't necessarily have to use an assist. You can go into pressure, into super dash assist, and then 50-50 them from there. But that's kind of how you want to set them up. When you see characters like Vegeta and Cell, EX Perfect Attack, obviously Vegeta has his Final Flash Air level 3 and his Air DP, you don't necessarily want to be bringing characters like that in. Alright? When it comes to the snap mix, you don't necessarily have to use it. However, if you're going to use it, I would advise you use it in a situation where your opponent can't really do too much about it, in the sense of them not having anything that can actually be a reversal in the air, or you do it in the beginning of a match when they don't have many resources. That's the best chance to actually utilize this to your advantage. Now I'm going to talk about Bardock's level 3 Oki. I'm not going to go over the super jump Oki in the corner before, as I've already gone over that in the guide before. As I said, the link is in the description to check that. What I'm looking at now, is the fact that we can actually get like a dash up 236M after. So let's say we do the level 3, we vanish, then we do like dash cross up 236M or dash 2M, right? That's what I'm focusing on now. If they're a frame off, they can 2H the cross up. If they're a frame off, I think, and we do it right, we actually beat 2H. But that's what I'm going to show now. So yeah, look at the examples. As you can see, I got 2H, right? If we check here, the time until counter attack is literally 0. So that is like as fast as I probably could have done it. They will 2H us if they are looking for it, right? But let's see what happens if I do 2M. The 2M smokes them. It absolutely smokes the 2H attempt, right? Dash 2M smokes them after the vanish. So what happens when we try and do the cross up and they're one frame too late on their 2H? As you can see, we smoked them. If they are a frame too late, we smoked them on the cross up. So it's worth going for. Your opponent might not even know what you're trying to do in the first place. Obviously, once you've conditioned them and they got hit by this before, then you start mixing up your options, right? You could do the vanish 2M, or you could just do the normal super jump mix in the corner, right? That is a very good option that Bardock now has because of the change to his 236M. So you can definitely use this. They have to be perfect on the 2H to hit you. If they're frame off, then they get smoked. So it's definitely worth going for. As before, practice doing this. Use the dash macro, right, to do your dash instant air dashes. And then practice doing that with the J236M. And that's your Oki. You just have to vanish and then you do that. So yeah, implement that into your level 3 Oki. So we can say Bardock is the trailblazer of Dragon Ball FighterZ. He came and he saw, he conquered, and they gave everybody else what he found, right? He had the lariat, and they gave everybody else the lariat. You know what I mean? Bardock has, you know, the plus on block. and they gave it to everybody else, right? Or to a lot of characters. So the downside of Bardock being the trailblazer of Dragon Ball FighterZ is that he's not necessarily the best version of himself now, and this is some of the issues with Bardock, right? Bardock can't really compete with people with good Ki Blast because his Ki Blast isn't the best, you know what I mean? Bardock isn't able to go through Ki Blast like other characters can. Do you know what I mean? Bardock can't necessarily do that, right? If Bardock tries something like that, now imagine getting nerfed by one Ki Blast. Bardock can't do anything. If we don't actually time our EX Lariat properly, we're getting smoked by a single Ki Blast. Do you know what I mean? This is some of the issues that Bardock has. Bardock is not the best Bardock anymore. And that's not a problem, it's fine. You just have to be very patient when you play the character. You know, you have to have a different mindset, which I'll go into later. But that's the issue with Bardock. Bardock isn't the best version of himself, so why are you going to pick him? You know what I mean? You can just pick Bardock with a command grab. Like, why are you just going to pick it? Like, Bardock, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 is Bardock with a command grab. Why are you going to pick Bardock? This is Bardock with corner, level 3 Oki. This is Bardock with a double air dash. Do you know what I mean? So Bardock can't get plus from the air. He can't get plus from the air. Do you know what I mean? Bardock doesn't have a reversal like this or a counter. So when you look at all these kinds of things, why are you playing Bardock? I'll tell you why I'm playing Bardock. That's my favorite character. And I'm going to continue to play Bardock and find new things with him. But if you're really trying to be competitive, just pick the better Bardocks. You have Kefla, you know, you've got 6H, you've got good movement options, you know what I mean? You can be plus of this as well, so many different things, right? Why are you going to play Bardock when you can just play better versions of it? As we said, being a trailblazer does have its downsides. The mentality you need to have when playing Bardock is one of mastering the system of Dragon Ball FighterZ itself. Obviously, the better player you are, the stronger of a player you become, the better you're going to be with Bardock. The better you're going to be with any character you decide to play with, right? But if you master the system, if you understand what's going on in things like 6M Clash, in plus on block situations like this, do you know what I mean? In being able to read your opponent, try and master Dragon Ball FighterZ first, and you will master Bardock as a result of it. Bardock is a fundamental character of this game. Bardock uses the system to his advantage, so if you can master the system and find out how to bend those rules in your favor, then you're going to improve with Bardock. There's not too much that we can do nowadays. As I mentioned before, there are better versions of Bardock. The character is not what it was before, but they're giving us stuff, so being able to use that stuff to your advantage is what's going to help you. Improve your neutral. Think about what you're actually doing in the game. Don't just press buttons for the sake of it. Just taking a little bit of time to understand what you're actually doing in a match is going to help you a lot. Why are you pressing this button there? Why are they doing this to me? Why am I getting hit? Looking over your replays, understanding these things will help you. Because a lot of characters have a lot of Ki Blasts going on the screen and Bardock is not going to be able to lariat through them. Do you know what I mean? Think of characters like, obviously Frieza fundamentally in this game is meant to be Bardock's enemy, right? Lots of Ki Blasts, you've got the blast that puts up like a wall in front of you so you can't really go through it. Like, that's just how it's meant to be. You know, it's canon, right? Super Baby 2, another character. Loads of Ki Blasts on the screen. How's Bardock going to make it through? You have to be patient. You have to have more of a defensive mindset in neutral now. You can't be as aggressive as we once were before, where you just lariat in, it was -1, and then your opponent didn't know what to do because quite a few characters had the 735L. So you can literally clash with it, win the clash and keep going. Or level 3 mix. We don't have that anymore. And that's fine. As the character changes, you change your approach. And you can still get your wins. They'll be a lot harder than before, but you can still get them. So just take time to look at it from a different perspective. Change your approach and you will still be able to do a lot of good things with this character. Just think about it. Thanks for watching the Bardock guide, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer them. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers, so click the like button, click the subscribe button and share the video with anybody that you think it could be helpful to. and as always, keep playing Bardock, and I'll catch you guys next time.